Welcome to chapter 24. I've reclassed Corrin to Wyvern Lord as you can see to get Swordbreaker, but she's still over 3 full levels off, and she can only gain experience with dual guards. This is the final chapter I have before she faces Yoma, so I have my work cut out for me if I want to get the skill. To help accomplish this, I can have Nina stand at the edge of the range of the squad of southwestern Kenshi Knights. The far one is not in range to attack Nina, so they will set up to dual strike for the other two. As for Nina, she's still in Sorcerer. Of course, I'd like to give her Shuriken Breaker in preparation for the next chapter, so I need to reclass her to Bow Knight, but she's still a little ways off of leveling up, so we can afford to delay that for a little bit. Bow Knight has much less bulk as my only 1 to 2 range options cannot activate Sol. Holding Nosferatu cuts Nina's avoid just enough so that she can get targeted by the Kenshi Knights despite Bow Breaker. I should mention I didn't create an exact turn-by-turn strategy laid out to maximize my dual guards, and I'm kind of winging it and seeing how much experience I can squeeze through.
I've dreamed about this. I can help. Ready and willing. I'll make them suffer. I can help. I've dreamed about this. I like our chances. I can help. I like our chances. I can help.
Nina is just about to hit level 19, so I have her swap to Bow Knight before positioning herself to give Corrin 2 more dual guards. The bow rank she farmed all the way back in chapter 9 allows her to wield the Shining Bow, although I also have her pick up some other bows from the convoy in case I need her to activate Sol.
Bring it on. I've dreamed about this. I'm with you. It's happening. Time to kill. Ready and willing. We've got this. I've dreamed about this. Time to kill. Ready and willing. It's happening. Let's go. I've dreamed about this. It's happening.
I activates the first waves of reinforcements by engaging with the enemies on the southwestern island. things can get actually pretty dicey at this wave, so I decide to play it a little safe at the expense of some experience for Corrin.
Time to kill. I dreamed about this. It's happening. I like our chances. I want to see them cry. I'll make them suffer. Time to kill. Ready and willing.
I get a little bit sloppy here with how I set up the enemies and with what bow I equip for Nina. Using the iron bow on player phase here results in a critical hit, which I should have avoided.
I like our chances. It's happening. I like our chances. I can help.
Nina is now approaching the next squad of enemies. Covering Setsuna's squad is Azama with his hexing rod. It's too hard to protect other units on this map, so I can't exhaust all of his uses reliably. As opposed to Chapter 20, I'm much more afraid of Nina's bulk, since she's in a more frail class, and her physical defense has fallen behind compared to 4 chapters ago. So, I get Corrin to carry Nina upwards and immediately enter his range and kill him. This activates the third set of reinforcements. We've skipped the second because we never entered the range of Setsuna's squad of infantry. I never knew this, but apparently the Falcon Knights in the northwest are linked to her squad too, so they won't attack me for now. By standing next to this Onmyoji, the Kinshi Knights from the east all can attempt to dual strike against Nina. Apparently, the Onmyoji in the south that has lightning can't even target Nina.
I dreamed about this.
Several Falcon Knights are now approaching from the west. Normally, some hold silver Naganatas and others bolt Naganatas, but the bolt Naganata Falcon Knights can't even hurt Nina. So, we can park Nina next to the harmless Onmyoji to give all of the Falcon Knights dual strikes while Nina counters them with the mini bow.
Time to kill. I can help. I believe in you. It's happening. I'll make them suffer. It's happening. I'll make them suffer.
I have an impending dual guard charged up, so I have Nina attack the lone bolt Naginata Falcon Knight first. Corrin reaches level 14, so we're quite close to getting to Swordbreaker, but we're also running out of enemies to fight. There's only one more set of reinforcements in addition to the enemies currently on the map. I realized there's some danger with the minibow landing crits when I'm acting on player phase, so I remember I have a bronze bow sitting in the convoy while picking off the bolts Naginata Falcon Knights that can counter-attack from 2 range.
It's happening. I've dreamed about this. Ready and willing. I'll make them suffer. I want to see them cry. I can help. Ready and willing. I'll make them suffer. I want to see them cry. Let's team up. I can help. Time to kill. Let's team up.
I lose several more dual guards here. I probably could have camped near the harmless bolt Naginata Falcon Knight to make it easier to farm dual guards.
Bring it on. I can help.
Counting the experience and enemies, I need Corrin to land 10 more dual guards, and there are over 10 enemies left on the map. A little annoyingly though, some of them include Hinoku and her Oni chieftain, who are stationary, as well as bolt Naginata Falcon Knights who won't naturally chase Nina.
I want to see them cry.
Standing next to one of the Falcon Knights, Corrin gets dual guards off of all of the remaining infantry. Then, we can do the same with the approaching flyers.
It's happening. I've dreamed about this.
I make another mistake here. With my full dual guard, I could have attacked the Falcon Knight with the minibow to give Corrin another dual guard, assuming Nina doesn't crit of course. Then, I could have the Kinsey's dual strike off of Hinoka to guarantee 2 more dual guards. Instead, I only get 2 guards from the Kinsey's.
I can help.
Because of my mistake, I end up having Corrin and Nina dance around the map in an attempt to group up the bolt Naginata Falcon Knights. But they have too much move and I can't figure out how to do it.
I've dreamed about this.
In the meantime, I should mention that in my first clear of this map, I defeated Azama's squad and all of his reinforcements at around 80 experience behind this attempt's pace, so I just gave up on Swordbreaker and ended the map early. Then, I realized Nina would take much longer than 20 turns to clear both sides of chapter 25, so I reverted back to Hinoka's chapter to do a little bit more dual guard optimization, making this the only time I had to revert to a previous save after saving to the next chapter. Oh, and I was indeed planning on going through all of Yoma's chapter without just cheesing an instant boss kill on Yoma. There are a couple reasons for this. First being that I don't think the Yoma kill would be consistent. Without Heartseeker, Nina would have pretty poor hit on him, and my Nina has pretty bad defense. Second, I was beginning to worry a little bit more about Endgame. As I mentioned in a previous part, at minimum my Nina would need staff support to clear the map, but I really wanted to make sure I didn't need to bring any other outside help besides staves, and the gold as well as experience from Yoma's map would help with that. Finally, I just think this is a really cool chapter and fun to figure out how to clear.
Let's team up.
As you can see, I gave up on trying to group the bold Naginata Falcon Knights and instead charge up dual guards against Hinoka to then expend on the Falcon Knights, as I don't want her and any chieftain to be defeated prematurely.
Let's team up. I believe in you. I've dreamed about this. I want to see them cry. I'll make them suffer. Bring it on.
With the perfect number of total dual guards, Corrin finally obtains Swordbreaker.
This is my chance. Time to kill.
Welcome to Chapter 25, which joins Kana's Paralogue and Chapter 21 as the hardest maps Nina has had to take on so far. Immediately, I'm reclassing Nina into Dark Knight to give her back tome access. Along the way, she can work on obtaining the Life Taker skill. That being said, she's already hit her level cap, so I've purchased an Eternal Seal. In addition to giving her Life Taker, I really want my Nina to get more defense. She has 20 defense at the moment, and with my class pathing and Nina's base defense, I believe she should be on average around 22 defense at level 20, so she's 2 points under the average at the moment. That is, until you remember that I gave her 2 Draco shields, so she's actually 6 points below average as far as I can tell. With her high movement, Nina immediately runs up and defeats a Master Ninja with a Spy's Shuriken. Between the Calamity Gate and Shuriken Breaker, even the Master Ninjas holding a Silver Shuriken in attack stance see 0 hit, and require an extra adjacency bonus to have a chance at scratching her. As Corrin is unavailable, Nina is working with Soleil for most of this chapter. The extra speed, defense, skill, and luck she gives are all very nice, and my Nina is not in need of more damage.
I like our chances. You have my suggestion. Not to worry.
Nina can then head back down to deal with the remaining southern enemies. She eliminates a Master of Arms, although in hindsight, attacking the Spy's Shuriken Master Ninja would have been faster. I never bothered to try though because this kill order usually gave my Nina high guard gauge after dealing with all of these enemies, so that was good enough for me.
I can help.
Nina's now approaching the infamous Hall of Death. Normally, I approach this room with someone like Shuriken Breaker Soleil and simply tank the Master of Arms after receiving an 80% HP cut, but as you might imagine, my Nina does not quite have that luxury, especially with no rally or aura support. This front Master of Arms has the counter magic skill. With this, I can adjust Nina's HP to be very low, so that the Northern Master of Arms seems immediate lethal damage on her and gets blocked by my full guard gauge. With both of the closest Master of Arms taken care of, Nina is in no danger from any of the remaining enemies that can attack her. That is, as long as she has the Calamity Gate equipped, which we can have Xander do by trading her.
We meet again.
Of course, given that the Calamity Gate can crit and Nina has Sol, the HP that Nina ends up after dealing with the southern set of enemies is not consistent. If it turns out that Nina can't adjust her HP properly with the fight home, I can restore Nina's HP to full and wait for her to guard gauge to deplete to 4 out of 10 shields. She then kills the bottom Master of Arms in the same way, leaving Nina at 19 HP. As we saw earlier, Nina only takes 17 damage from the Master of Arms, so once Spy's Shuriken Master Ninja will fill up her guard gauge and cut Nina's HP, allowing Nina to still block the Master of Arms' lethal attack.
I've dreamed about this. I'm not worried. I spy a corpse. Done already? How wonderful.
Let us begin. Allow me to join you.
Let's end this with a smile. Try harder, okay?
Notably, this remaining Master of Arms has Aegis. If I attack, don't heal enough from Sol, and he survives, then he will be able to kill Nina on the following turn, so Nina just drinks a concoction for now.
I'll make them suffer. I like our chances. I've dreamed about this. I'll make them suffer. I want to see them cry. I like our chances. I'll make them suffer. Ready and willing. It's happening.
As Nina finishes cleaning up the right side of the map, we can have Niles head up to loot the chest.
This could be trouble. I'll make them suffer. Right next to you. I've dreamed about this.
Let's make this fun.
Time to kill.
All right, come on.
More pests. It's happening. Right next to you.
Prince Yoma has patiently waited for 20 turns, so he now begins his assault. Thanks to our efforts in the last chapter though, Corrin has Swordbreaker, and Yoma has pretty poor hit rates against Corrin. With the help of Azura's personal skill healing him from over the wall as well, Corrin will have no problem surviving Yoma, giving Nina enough time to pull around to the left side of the map as well.
How wonderful.
As Nina is basically invulnerable against the Master Ninjas, she's free to dive straight into this huge clump of enemies. The gimmick on the left side of the map is that Spy's Yumi Automata will lunge Nina across several rooms, stacking seal defense with the inevitable end skill. Along the way, several Master Ninjas will attack to further debuff her, although Nina will have no trouble dealing with them. More concerning are the several Sword Masters along the way, many of which have offensive skills like Quick Draw or Life and Death. While some units can survive this ordeal, Nina certainly can't, so we need to interrupt the enemy formation somehow.
Oh, my goodness. I like our chances. Ah, yeah! I'll crush them! It'll work out.
Elise comes along and passes several items to Nina, along with a heart seal she can use to reclass into adventurer. My solution of choice to disrupt the enemies is use the entrap staff, but I don't want to use offensive staves with other units. Fortunately, Nina can do the job herself, as long as she bumps her weapon rank up with several of the armed scrolls I've saved across the campaign and a new one that I just purchased.
It's alright. I like our chances. I've dreamed about this. Let's team up.
Let's do this!
Aw, yeah! Let's go. No need to worry.
Fascinating.
I like our chances.
First,
Ready?
I'd like to
and
eliminate the
willing.
Master Ninja in the western corridor, but attacking him puts me in range of one of the automata.
I've dreamed about this.
Instead, I use entrap on him. Notably, the shining bow decreases Nina's avoid, so I have her stand on some pillars. Alternatively, I could have her hold the iron bow, which gives her perfect avoid, and just finish the ninja off on player phase.
Let's team up.
The next worrisome target is the paired-up sword masters blocking the eastern corridor. Unfortunately, they have excellent avoid against Nina with their weapon triangle advantage and duelist's blow. I realize now that I actually could have reclassed Nina back to a tome class at this point to make the kill very easy, but I kind of wasn't thinking. Instead, I go through a silly little RNG gauntlet and chug concoctions.
It's happening. Ready and willing.
By the way, that's the first defense level up she's gotten all the way since chapter 19 when she reached level 10. Her defense growth is low, but it's not quite that low. She has a 30% defense growth not counting her class growth. Anyway, the sword master in the back gets doubled without the pair up bonus and lacks duelist blow, so he dies a bit faster. We're done with the entrap staff, so I turn Nina back into a dark knight for the rest of the chapter.
Bring it on.
Nina can run up the western corridor to a tile that baits 3 of the remaining sword masters, which is why I killed a master ninja on the left side. I should mention my Nina can do this because she has very high move, but usually you can do this with any 8 movement unit such as a Wyvern Lord with Swordbreaker, as long as you have Azura Singh and a shelter to get her out of danger. In fact, both of the entraps I did are basically a way to adapt my usual strategy, which involves killing the same enemies but with Azura and a shelter user instead.
I've dreamed about this.
With all but one of the sword masters eliminated, it's much more safe to send Nina up the lunge chain. Normally, I have several units collapse onto the center room on this side with the chest, but a single Nina doesn't have this luxury.
I'll make them suffer. I can help. Right next to you. I can help.
Nina faces very low hit rates from the automata despite holding the Calamity Gate. This is thanks to Bowbreaker and the Spy's Yumi having terrible hit. The final Sword Master comes in to attack Nina. After getting her defense sealed multiple times, he does quite an impressive amount of damage to her, but it's not lethal and he's the only enemy that has a good shot at hitting her.
You thought you could win? Everywhere! Nope, no!
Nina goes to finish off the automata. Unfortunately, she cannot attack them on enemy phase, so she gets her defense sealed several more times.
I'll make them suffer. I can help. I like our chances. Bring it on. I like our chances. This could be trouble.
With all of the enemies cleared, Niles can loot the second chest. At minus 60 defense, Saizo does a pretty funny amount of damage to Nina. As a consolation, at least Luna doesn't help him very much.
Well, how about some?
You have my support.
This will be enjoyable.
Be careful.
Let us begin.
I'm here to help. You'll be alright. I like our chances.
Nina still has 0 defense, so she gets nearly one shot by Ryoma and definitely gets killed if he activates a skill, so Nina uses lightning to kill him.
I believe.
Unfortunately, her hit rates are still imperfect despite her accuracy buffs. The situation between Corrin and Ryoma was pretty stable earlier, so I could have in theory waited 60 turns for the debuff to clear, but we ball. Entering chapter 26.
Let's go.
There are immediately several heroes, all armed with worm slayers, and a hexing rod made in front of Nina. I'd rather not deal with that, so I have Nina get entrapped by the maid on the right first. Chapter 26 is much more straightforward than chapter 25. The main gimmick is that the map is littered with various maids with staffs of savant and offensive staves. In the center is Iago that cycles between enfeeble, freeze, silence, and a hexing rod. For the most part, these serve more as an annoyance rather than being truly threatening. I wait for a turn where Iago uses his enfeeble staff to separate Corrin to the right, getting Nina out of the freeze chain. On the next turn, Nina can open the door to the sorcerer's room when Iago uses freeze. I wait for this turn because I obviously wouldn't like Nina to get hexed, and getting silenced in front of the sorcerer room is no good either. If I break the door on the enfeeble turn, Iago and the freeze maid can work together next turn to get both Corrin and Nina stuck, where Iago can then silence Nina as the sorcerer reinforcements reach her. I actually completely forgot Nina had lock touch, so I broke down the door manually earlier, forcing me to use Fimbulveta. If I remembered, I could have had her equip the horse spirit instead.
I've dreamed about this. I'm here to help trying to kill. It's happening. I can help. I want to see them cry.
Nina has once again hit her level cap, so I use yet another Eternal Seal to give her more opportunities to cap her stats and increase her defense.
Time to kill. I like our chances. I'll make them suffer.
As Nina approaches the room at the bottom, she reclasses once again to Sorcerer. I've kept her in Dark Knight up until now because it has a 45% defense growth in total as opposed to 35% in Sorcerer, but there are many beast killer enemies generals that Nina would handle more easily in a foot infantry class. With the help of both Sol and Life Taker, Nina has no trouble taking on the entire squad at the bottom on.
It's happening. Let's team up. I'll make them suffer.
As a side note, I do have Nina equipped with Lock Touch here instead of bringing a separate unit like I did in the previous chapter. If I leave a unit in the top room, the sorcerer reinforcements from engaging this bottom room would open the walls, unleashing the squad of heroes, and eventually killing whoever I bring. This does actually have the benefit of separating the heroes from the hexing rod maid, allowing Nina to defeat them without too much difficulty, but I'll be getting enough experience anyway. Perhaps I could have gotten them entrapped by the first maid at the start as well, I don't know, but having Lock Touch on Nina is fine. As we approach Hans and the remaining two generals, we have to once again be wary of the remaining staves. Getting hit by the entrap maid in the bottom left corner would be troublesome, and if I'm not careful, I could get Nina hexed or silenced too early. Notably, the trio in here all have counter magic equipped, so it's best to leave them out anyway.
It's happening.
All of the important enemies are dead, so it's fine if Nina gets hexed now. All that really remains is the annoying freeze staves and making sure Nina doesn't die to a crit from Excalibur, then picking up the remaining treasure.
I can help. You won't give up. I'll make them suffer. I believe in you. Bring it on. I like our chances. Ready for this? I can help. I believe. Let's team up. Ready and go. Bring it on. I'll make them suffer. Let's team up. I'll make them suffer. I'm with you.
It's time to take on the long-awaited Shigure Paralogue. I suffered through Hero for several turns in Chapter 21, and spent 80 turns optimizing dual strikes in Chapter 24 to give Corrin Swordbreaker, all to save this Paralogue for near the end of the game. Let's see if it was worth it.
I'll protect you.
Well, in terms of gameplay, there's nothing really worth mentioning here. It's a pretty easy map. It's available in all routes, so there's extra high-level enemies that give tons of experience. I've unlocked Nina's level cap to 35 and put her back into Dark Knight to hopefully get even more defense level ups.
Ready and willing. Shall we kill them? Not to worry. I've dreamed about this. Let's see how this goes. Ready and willing. Let's team up. It's happening. I'll make them suffer. It's happening. Let's team up. Time to kill.
Nina hits her final level cap at 35. I could actually afford to buy another Eternal Seal. Between the extra kills I gave up in Chapter 26 and here, as well as what she can get in the next maps, she can actually get an even higher level. But I wanted to hold on to a little bit more money in cases I really needed a huge weapon forge or a ton of seals or something like that for Endgame.
Let's team up. I've dreamed about this.